this on a Monday, and the Tuesday that you're seeing this is the day after. So if I look ugly and looked uninformed, this is a video that I was like, let me expose this terrible book that was one of the last books I read of 2019. Literally the end of the decade, and I read this crappy book. Hello everyone, welcome to a new video today. Now, I don't usually do reviews much, but I think in the new decade or year, I felt like maybe I should try something new. It's the start of something new. I don't know what this review will be, because I have nothing planned. I think I've come to the conclusion that my reviews now will be unprofessional and basically just Julia ranting for about probably 4 or 5 minutes. Now, if you don't know what the book I'm talking about is today, it's called Waiting for Tom Hanks by Carrie Winifrey. Literally, my grandma paid money for this book, so I would like to deeply apologize to her for putting it on my wish list. So if you don't know what this book is about, basically, this book follows a 27-year-old, remember that, woman by the name of, I think, Annie. Yeah, it's a common white girl name. And she basically lives in this small town, and I think she writes on a blog or something, and she lives with her cool uncle, and basically she finds out that there's a movie being filmed in her town. This girl's like, okay, let me get a job here. But what one of the biggest qualities of Anne's personality is that she loves Tom Hanks very, very much. I mean, it's kind of in the title that Tom Hanks is referenced, but so much. And let's just say the main actor on the set, he's just an asshole. It's a Pride and Prejudice of our time, I guess. I don't know. I've only read Pride and Prejudice like 1/4 through and never finished it. Now, before we get into the main video, I feel like with my reviews today, I'm trying to write more Goodreads reviews, so I feel like we should start off this video with my Goodreads review of this book, which isn't much. Let's read what Julia had to say when she finished this book. Basically, this book is like a cheesy YA book plot with older characters, which doesn't work because that makes all the characters look stupid. Don't get me started on Annie. She does so many things that me, a 17-year-old girl, called out and thought was stupid. Honey, no wonder you didn't meet your Tom Hanks. I'm still gonna read the sequel because the best friend, who is bisexual, is getting her starring role, finally. That deserves a Pulitzer Prize win. Not this book. Basically, I don't know where to start. I would be fine with this plot if the characters were younger, but this woman's 27. I was baffled by multiple actions this woman took, and she was 27. I'm more mature than this woman, and I'm a 17-year-old girl that's still going through high school. Like, literally all this woman's stupid ass mistakes were done with her stupid ass head. If you had her as a 15-year-old, all her stupid actions could be blamed that she's naive and young. Like, this whole book, she's just like, oh my god, I want to meet my Tom Hanks. Honey, Tom Hanks, most of the time in Tom Hanks movies, he's not the best guy, you know? I think even the best friend pointed this out. You got mail. Literally, Meg Ryan's character's bookstore is closed because of his company. Like, do you want that? You want to live your sexual fantasy of the guy that made your dreams crush? Well, I finished it in 2 days. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because most of the time when people do a review, they're like, I finished this in 2 days. In this case, I wish I couldn't finish it in 2 days, but I don't know how I finished it. I think it was because I was like, okay, this writing style is really easy. Nothing much is happening, whatever. Like, it was a short enough book, but it felt like everything lasted for too long. All these conversations could have been done in like a snap. It just felt so dry. I don't think this dialogue's that good. First of all, no one talks like this. In Nora Ephron films, they talk more real and vibrant. In this one, it feels so fake to me, and I don't know why. I think it's because the main character just feels so fake to me. There's this interesting plot line where she looks up to her mom and her parents and thinks they had the perfect love life when they didn't. And I felt that was really good. That was at the end of the novel. Why are you bringing up this plot point at the end of the novel? It should have came up here, like in the middle of it. Like, why did you wait until this much into the book to start that plot point? It shows that nothing is perfect, and then you could start the development of the main character much more earlier, and you could have her more likable in most of the novel, but she's not, because she's annoying as hell. And don't get me started on what she does. I'm gonna spoil this for you. I'm sure you're not gonna read it after I said it to you. Basically, this literally takes a picture of her and this guy having sex and sends it to her friend. Turns out she sends it to a journalist. What dumbass takes a picture of you and a guy having sex? And like, even if you send it to your friend, it's a private thing. First of all, it's non-consensual. Basically, you took a picture of this guy without his permission. So first of all, that's number one, non-consensual. Number two, why would you send it to your friend? This is a private matter. Like, you're making it so less intimate than you want it to be. And then I don't know how this guy, like, forgives her. Like, even if he's like, I'm sorry, I know you didn't mean to give it to the journalist. She sent it to her best friend, like, just so freaking stupid. Like who wants as a girlfriend someone just taking pictures of you guys having sex? So this is my second romance adult novel. The first one was Red, White, and Royal Blue, which had so many sex scenes to count, and this one only had one. But the reason why the main character didn't have any more was because she took a picture, dude. I just can't fathom that. And this Goodreads review pointed out all this whiteness, and let's find it. It's so good. It's like, the tea here, guys, the tea. This book, ugh. I suppose I should talk about the white feminism in this book. The white director wanting to film a movie about an interracial relationship because he's now in an interrelationship felt really bad. You should want to promote diversity all the time in all walks of life, not just when it mirrors your life and impacts you and your white self. Every time Drew talked about being a feminist because of his feminist mom and now how he opens doors and walk girls home made me want to die. Even though I did feel bad for Drew, though, most of this, because Annie was so insufferable. Also, all the main characters in this book are white. To keep bringing up how woke you are when your entire book is about two heterosexual people who are white with all white friends, it doesn't feel good to read. Especially when the only person of color is very minor side character, yet the star of the very movie, who is only written to help the main character very awkwardly at the end of the book. Telling and showing are two very different things. And when you put such an emphasis on telling while never showing, it makes for a horrible reading experience. Bringing up how whitewashed media is constantly is just going to make your whitewashed book more obvious. Preach, Melanie. Preach. Let's get this straight. Everyone is white and straight, except the side character who's bisexual. And I think the uncle's pan, but they never touch on it. Like, they start thinking that he has a boyfriend and it turns out he's a girl. And they never establish that he's pan. Like, I seriously am wondering if this author comes out on Twitter and she's like, oh yeah, the uncle's actually pan. Like, honey, that doesn't count as representation if you don't put in the books. So, you know, you're not J.K. Rowling here. You don't want to be J.K. Rowling here. Because, like, me just thinking about it more and more, it was just a waste of my time when I could have been reading, like, something better. Was really excited for this book. I mean, hello, Julia, rom-coms, Julia, Nora, Ephron. Like, when you're doing a appreciation for someone, like an appreciation of like a direct, you can have references and basic people, like you can have characters are interested in this one thing. It gets so annoying when she talks about Tom Hanks. It's like she's like a Supernatural fan and all she can sing is Carry On My Wayward Son, and that's the only song she knows. You can have a book about rom-coms and Nora Ephron and Tom Hanks, but when it's like made up of about 200 out of 250 pages, it takes away from what you're trying to say in this novel, which is, I don't know, rom-coms aren't real life. But when you're talking about those rom-coms nonstop and the main character doesn't realize it until like 10 pages left in the novel, then what's the story then? It's just, and the main love interest is just so bland and boring that you don't really care about him. He has a boring ass name called like Derek or Dave, like I think it's Dave. Drew, sorry, he's Drew Gooden now. So that is it for my rant review of this novel. I hope you all like, comment, and subscribe, comment down below rom-com novels. Like, I have this one, I hope it's good. I really hope. Well, Waiting for Tom Hanks took a jump. It took a leap. So thank you all for watching this video. Bye.